It all began with a past life session in February 1993 with a friend called Ken Driver. He had gone back to a life in Atlantis, and I had asked him what his work was. Ken. Teaching new ways from elsewhere, we came from Sirius, but it was a mistake to come here. We were a scientific team, males and females. The females were more advanced, but somebody wanted us to fail on our mission. Someone back on Sirius. We weren't supposed to get back. They were sending us into exile, maybe even to our deaths, but we didn't know that. There was a problem with our ship. It crashed, and most of our party were killed. I could feel Ken's bafflement at why anyone would want to sabotage their ship. They were on a scientific mission, and he simply couldn't understand why they had been put at risk in that way. The incident was interesting, but didn't seem to lead on any new information, so we simply put it aside as an isolated curiosity. It was 11 years later in May 2004, when the next piece of our jigsaw puzzle fell into place. I was doing a past life session with Stuart, and he was exploring a life he had never touched on before. Stuart. We are getting ready for a journey. We are entering a starship. We are going with high hopes on a research mission and hope this will benefit both Sirius and the people of Atlantis. Are you from Sirius? Yes. What is your name? I am called Anquel. There's a long A sound at the beginning. Are you a technician on Sirius? Anquel. No, I'm a counselor and an architect. It is my experience as an architect which has relevance for this mission. It is to be an exchange of knowledge and skills. Both governments will have to decide what is safe to exchange. So ours is an initial fact-finding mission to determine the extent and level of Atlantean skills, culture, and technology. We will tell the Atlanteans the broad areas of our technical expertise, but will not reveal detailed technologies until our government has had a chance to review our report. It is hoped that both governments may gain from the final exchange because, although our culture and technology is very advanced, there are some areas, particularly in the use of crystals, where Atlantis seems to be ahead of us. Please, move forward now in your experience. How does the journey turn out for you? It does not go as we expected. It should have been routine, quite an easy and pleasant journey. But there was some difficulty. The engine was faulty and we crashed upon a remote part of Earth. How far away from Atlantis did you crash? Quite a distance. We crashed in a remote rocky area, very inhospitable. How many people were on the spacecraft? 18. Balance 9 and 9 in the Syrian fashion, 9 males and 9 females. When you crashed, how many survived? 4 females and 3 males. But 1 male did not survive the journey. So you ended up with 4 females and 2 males. Yes. The male who survived only a short time was a great loss to us. He was one of the leading technicians on Sirius, and we were depending on him for the most complex technical analysis. He was badly injured in the crash and had internal bleeding. We had basic medical supplies and handheld medical monitors, but nothing that could address a serious problem of that nature. Although he was injured, his mind was clear, and under his direction, we unbolted the casing around the engine. He was familiar with this pattern of engine and was able to identify quickly the component that was not part of the original design. Under his direction, we removed this unit, and he examined it. He had expected it to be the crude production of some renegade terrorist, and was surprised to find that it was efficiently designed and professionally constructed and bore all the signs of a piece of equipment coming from a government workshop. When he told us that, my heart sank, for it had not occurred to me that our own government might be behind this crash. The master technician explained to us the principle on which this device operated. A time clock set off the operation of the unit, which progressively throttled back the engine so that eventually no power at all would be available. Had it not been for the alertness and skill of our pilot in landing us quickly, we would all probably have been killed. The technician said that this was a device designed to ensure we crashed exactly where we did. That made us all think furiously. As we argued it out, it became clear to us that if we had crashed on Atlantis, it might have caused a diplomatic incident, with the Atlanteans blaming the Syrians for sending a defective starship which might endanger their citizens.